Welcome, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign to February of 2024. It is all about romance, sexuality. It's about creativity. It's about owning the joy in your life and figuring out what makes you really happy. And this is going to show you in spades what is true when it comes to that part of your world. And you can heal something that has been bothering you since 2019 about significant business and love partnerships and finally close out that wound and take that Band-Aid off, and it's all healed up. So let's get going and talking about how this looks for you in great detail. Hey, if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're one of my regulars, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. We're going to be talking, oh, by the way, who am I? I'm Lorianne Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses. I love the fixed stars, and I put a lot of content out about the minor asteroids. If you want to see up to 30 videos a month and on the regular and get this deep dive into all signs for everything that happens in our sky, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to check out that notification bell so you don't miss anything that I put out. And everything about me, including my all signs bundle for sale till the end of this month, my Patreon community, get my wait list for a reading, all that information is underneath the video in the More tab. Okay, let's get talking about your month. First of all, we're going to talk big picture stuff, and then we're going to narrow it down to a chronology. But one of the things I need to say is that your Lord Venus is very active this month ahead. She's doing some happy money and love surprises for you. So we're going to say that Venus, the Lord of your sign, is pretty damn busy doing a lot of stuff for you, Libras. That's a general thought. Number two, general thought, a loosey-goosey sextile between Saturn and Venus. Saturn and Jupiter happens all month long, the last week of January and the first 2 weeks of February, but it never perfects. Nonetheless, it gives good but not great results, in my humble opinion, for you in the work part of your life and the finances. And so work and finances, taxes, benefits from your work, benefit plans coming to fruition, work and work routines being stabilized. You're working hard right now. Saturn in the house of work. It's going to keep you grinding until February of 26, right? It started last March. And so you're working hard, but you've got some really positive financial bonus points from all the hard work you're doing all through the first 2 weeks of February as a general theme. Okay. Now let's talk about how we're breaking this down. We're going to start off by talking first about planetary ingresses. The planets Mercury, Venus, and Mars moving into various different signs will impact you, of course, especially Venus. But let's start off with faster moving Mercury. Mercury is going to be moving already through 3 signs. He finishes up in Capricorn on February the 4th or 5th, depending on your time zone. And that's where he was moving around the bottom of your chart for about 3 weeks, likely to do with construction, renovation, contracts, agreements, negotiation, and marketing and money stories to do with home, property, and real estate. Then now he's done with that. And on February 5th, he slides into your romance house, your 5th house of romance. And that's also your creativity and your art. And it's also your entrepreneurial and independent business skills. And it's also what brings you joy. Now, when Mercury moves into this part of your sky, you might be very busy communicating with your romantic partner, or we're going to say February 5th to the 22nd of January, having a lot of conversations with your children if you have them. And so there's a lot going on here where there's a lot of chatter between you and children, you and romantic partner, lots of texts, phone calls, emails, or just talking. And so Mercury here can also increase your success financially if you have any kind of business that's entrepreneurial. And it's also kind of not too bad for winning the lottery, but it's better for winning the lottery with Mercury in Aquarius on these dates. I'm going to give you a tip. You want to buy a lottery ticket, don't bust the bank, right? You want to get that lottery ticket between February 16th and February 23rd, when both Venus and Mercury are in your 5th house together. Heads up, that's not a bad idea for you guys. Alrighty, so then Mercury later on the 23rd of February will slide through to March the 9th, will slide into your work house. Now that's really good for, negotiating a new salary. It's good for negotiating a new rental agreement or contract for the tenant, or if you're the land, or if you want to be a tenant, or if you're the landlord with a leasee. So tenancy agreements, so good for negotiating contracts around purchases of animals, domestic pets and animals. It's really good for getting good news around health stuff, or just getting down with looking more clearly at your health records, like getting your health records in order, getting some blood work done, testing your health out. Mercury in your 6th house. And that window of time, again, February 23rd to March 9th, is good for those matters. Let's talk about Venus. She's the Lord of your sign. She matters to you because she's in charge of you, and she's moving through the sign of Capricorn, excuse me, January the 23rd to February the 15th. Now, that's down in the bottom of your sky where Mars is rising. We'll get to that in a minute. That's good for decorating, beautifying your home, financial goodness in the home, enjoying love in the home, enjoying your home life. So January 23rd to February 15th, there's a lot of Venus in the home, female friend visiting the home, money luck or money goodness about buying and selling and property and home, especially given that she was trining Jupiter as well. So that window of time, January 23rd to February 15th, was good for property, home, real estate, payouts, chunky money payouts, insurance payouts, money that comes from your work, investments in the stock market, and applying to your home life. Sorry, guys, I needed a drink of water. You know, people have given me really harsh comments about drinking on my channel. There's a whole fucking YouTube channel girl who sips a cup of tea through her entire show. So please take a chill pill. All right, next. When Venus is moving into Aquarius, February 16th to March 12th, and remember, 16th to 23rd is good for lottery wins or money luck. But when she moves February 16th to March the 12th into your fifth house, if you are a female egg bearer, you could get pregnant. Be careful, it's a fertility transit. If you are a man or a non-egg bearer, somebody who has no ovaries, then this could look like your partner getting pregnant as a Libra sun, moon, or rising. So watch out for that, especially you Libra risings, but you know, there's a potential there for that kind of thing. If that's something you want, wonderful. When Venus is in your fifth house, and if you're single, you can meet a very powerful new person and get romantically entangled between February 16th and March the 12th. And because Mars will be there and their cosmic lovers are tangoing deeply in the fifth house of romance, you'd bake in a very powerful, sexually compatible, intense, deep intimacy, because Pluto's there, romantic love story for anyone meeting someone new February 16th to March the 12th. If you're already in a relationship, this can be very good for getting the sizzle and the romance back. If you've been losing the romance, losing the fun, losing the joy, losing the playfulness of your love life, this can give you a restoration February 16th to March the 12th, especially because Venus and Mars will come together here in a conjunction. We'll talk about the dates of that later. And if you're an entrepreneur or a creative artist, this is going to fire up on all cylinders, your passion, your creativity, your artistic ability, your romantic, you're not your romantic ability, but your love of your art, your love of your creative process. And it similarly applies to a complete inspiration, fire up, getting down with the muse in any kind of entrepreneurial business or endeavors that may be a part of your life. Especially, you know, for those of you who might be doing something creatively or entrepreneurially that involves writing, because Mercury will be here during this time as well. Don't forget, Mercury is in Aquarius, as I mentioned, from February 23rd to March 9th, and Venus is popping in on the 16th. You get Venus and Mercury together. It's great for writing projects, but it's also great for communication projects as well, of any kind, you know, speaking in front of a crowd, getting in front of a stage, talking. This is known as the house of the stage, the fifth house, and being like on that stage, being charming, being really good with your speech and your creativity and the way you perform, perhaps. It's really good for anyone who's a performer, particularly an actor as well, having a breakthrough in this window of February the 16th into March the 12th. Then Mars will move out of Capricorn, where he will have been since January 3rd through to February 13th. And that was your fourth house. So he rose here. His heliacal rise happened here on the 27th January. He became visible in the morning sky. This becomes a part of your life that over 2 years you're going to experience a great deal of change. Some of you may change countries, move away from home, sell a home, big time changes with home, real estate, and property, but they're mostly good changes. If you want to know more about how that plays out, some of you might move for work, by the way, how that plays out in your life, go listen to my Mars rising video that I just put out before these videos came out to understand the delineation of how this change will occur over 2 years of your life. The last time this kind of change happened for you was 1977 to 79. Now, Mars moves out of the Capricorn part of your sky, home, property, real estate, and it could have gave you like January 3rd to February 13th, a lot of tension, conflict, and combat or arguing in the home, or you were traveling quite a bit away from your home between January 3rd and February 13th. Just think if that's true, because I bet it is. But then on February 13th through to March the 23rd, Mars moves into your romance house. Now, this is a place where if you have children and they live at home, they could move out of the home between February 13th and March the 23rd. But this is also the place where if you're trying to get pregnant, it's a mixed bag. Venus is a fertility transit in this part of the sky from February 16th. And then along comes Mars, February 13th. I don't want to worry you. They have differing agendas. Mars is an abortion god or a miscarriage god. Venus is a fertility god. They're at odds with each other. There is a window of time where they synergize and become one, and I'll tell you about that later. But there can be this push-pull around pregnancy and fertility, for sure, for some of you Libras. And when Mars is here, it's really good for being competitive. And it's also good for winning at anything competitive. And so your competitive spirit fires up and you could win something. Now, of course, I already mentioned the lottery win energy here. So winning at games of chance, Mercury is here. Definitely a time to go hit the casino, buy a speculative stock, do a lottery game, but don't overdo it. You know, in Canada, we say, know your limit, play within it. But we're just saying, like, yes, you could win some money in this window of time. Not everybody will. That's ridiculous, but it can happen. February 13th to March the 23rd. More likely February 13th to March the 12th, because you still have Venus there as well for winning money or having money luck. If you're, a creative type or entrepreneur, you're just driving, man. You're passionate, you're inspired, your willpower, your ambition is all fired up between February 13th and March the 23rd. Now let's break it down. First of all, I want to mention the Pluto party. February 16th and 19th, not only is Venus, Pluto, Mars, and Mercury in that fifth house, which is the muse and the joy of life and the inspiration of life, but also the sun is still there. Okay, so the sun is engaging with that. And so there's a huge amount of Pluto parties, super stellium in that fifth house. And the sun is a ruler of your 11th house of good spirit, where you can have windfalls and pennies from heaven as well. So I would even say the 16th and the 19th, man, it's not a bad time to like launch into a good old lottery ticket just for fun. One ticket is all it takes to win, right? Don't spend your freaking savings on lottery tickets. Let's be serious. Alrighty, moving on to the chronology of the month ahead. So here we go, and we're moving into a breakdown of the events of the month of 2024, February, for your Libra rising sun and moon. Your sun can be your career and purpose, the moon your home and nest and body, and the rising is everything about your life. Okay, so consider all three. On February 7th to the 8th, Venus will flow to Neptune, happy love and money surprises in that trine. Now, Venus is in Capricorn still at this point, your fourth house where she was hanging with Mars and Mercury. And, she's like, but going to bring you happy surprises that are unexpected. That's the Uranus stuff, right? To do with finances like mortgages and inheritances and bank loans and stock investments and property, land, home, and real estate. Okay, so it's that simple. February 7th to 8th. Surprise! On February 8th to the 9th, Mars will flow to Neptune in a very lovely way from Capricorn, where he's now visible February 8th and 9th, in your fourth house of land, home, property, real estate, domestic, and private life, to Neptune in the workspace. And so good developments around work and health coming through your sky on the 8th and the 9th of February. Also, rental properties and situations around rentals being beneficial for you on the 8th and the 9th. On February the 10th, Mercury will square Jupiter, and this is tension in the sky between the god of news and communication and speaking and writing, and Jupiter in your 8th house of taxes and shared money and with a partner and unearned income. Certainly, there can be some tension with a romantic or sexual partner regarding shared resources and money. There could be some kind of tension going on here about a financial opportunity, but it's not jiving with a child or with a romantic partner. There can be some tension regarding money and debt issues with a child who owes you money. Many ways that can play out. Jupiter's generously trying to increase your financial goodness through to the end of May, and that's going to bring you more money. Even inheritance money is possible. But hey, that square to Mercury happening on February 10th can look a little bit difficult. Who is not squaring away with this abundance that you're capable of? Is it a child? Is it a lover? Is it a romantic partner? Possibly all of those. All right. And then we're moving into February 13th, where Venus, the Lord of your sky, your Libra rising people especially, is sextiling Neptune. Now, we already said that Mars sextiled Neptune in February, and now Venus is following through as well from Capricorn, your fourth house. And this is also really good for some kind of dreamy and beautiful and romantic event that can happen in and from your home, or some positive financial developments regarding your home and rental properties, or even the ability to dreamy and visionary Neptune moving towards some kind of project in your work that it connects to things you're doing in your home. Right, a beautiful home project, a home renovation project, a home design project, maybe even just getting some new object for your home, Venus and Capricorn, a new sofa, a new lighting system, a new wardrobe that looks really lovely and connects to a better workspace, like a home office space, or a better way to enjoy your home life, or a better rental opportunity for a better home and work-life balance. February the 13th, give or take a day on either side. On February 13th to the 15th, though, February 13th to 15th, though, Mars will conjunct Pluto, intense willpower, ambition, and drive, commander-in-chief energy. This energy is intense and it's happening in your house of romantic love. Now, Mars-Pluto can be power struggles, especially in a hard conjunction. So you may have some power struggles with a romantic partner or with a child, and especially if they're still living with you. So watch out for that. On the other hand, Mars-Pluto conjunction, if you're an artist, a creative, or an entrepreneur, is you are on fire. You are commander-in-chief. Your willpower, passion, and drive are bar none the top of your game. Then on February the 19th, the North Node joins with Chiron in the marriage house, healing that marriage wound that started in 2019. If you've been wounded in primary long-term love relationships, feeling wounded by not having one, or being in some difficult ones that really challenged your sense of well-being, February 19th, give or take a week on either side, is trying to heal a commitment and love wound, a primary wound, maybe fear of abandonment, fear of betrayal, fear of loss, and you're healing that wound at this time. It's very rare. I think this last happened in the 1960s or 40s when the Chiron North Node conjunct in Aries. Go watch my video all about that. That's out already for big 2024 transits. It's a big deal for you guys. Now, Chiron can heal a wound by inflaming it with a North Node. So things may get really difficult in an existing committed love story if you have one on February 19th. And if you don't have one because you got so much going on in your dating house, in your romantic love house of the fifth house kind of thing, there could be even some difficulties in a new relationship that stir up your deeper fears and abandonment wounds, or whatever's going on in your seventh house. Okay, now it's like bringing, also you can say that your significant other is dealing with healing a wound, and that's helping you heal your own stuff as well. February the 19th. You ever take a week on either side. Then on February 20th to the 23rd, Venus will conjunct Mars, the hot tango of the cosmic lovers sizzling away in your fifth house. Well, for one, proactively, if you're in a relationship, February 20th to 23rd is an ideal time for a romantic getaway, a leisure trip, some kind of attempt to up the level of sexual contact, fun, romance, pleasure, and play with the significant other. It doesn't have to be sex. It'd be like, we love the bowling alley and we spent, February 20th to 23rd bowling on the daily. Whatever you do for fun with somebody could be very much increased, especially if it's a romantic partner. And at the same time, if you're a creative type, this is a real synergy here. And you could be really coming into some kind of intensity around your art and around your passionate creations. And finally, Venus unites, Mars separates, and this is a fertility house. This is a turning point, maybe a decision being made, like if you were pregnant, your partner, keep the baby or not, February 20th to 23rd. On February the 26th to the 28th, Mars squares Jupiter, just like February 10th, Mercury squared Jupiter. And this is happening in the Aquarius house, your 5th house that I've delineated, to Jupiter, okay, in your 8th house of chunky money. First, Mercury had a problem with that. Now it's Mars. Well, this can definitely be financial issues regarding one of your children, financial issues with a romantic relationship, financial issues to do with inheritance monies, or financial issues to do with some money luck and speculation in the stock market and something really not working the way you thought it would. Maybe a failure to launch, or Mars wants to ambitiously pursue some speculative investment and Jupiter is like not so sure about it, that kind of thing. And finally, the big news at the end of the month, it's very exciting, is that you'll see well, let me go back for a minute to the Mars square Jupiter just for you guys for a minute. Okay, I want to make a point on this. Mars rules your house of your earnings and possessions. And so there's definitely a lot of energy to do with money because you've got like the 2nd, 5th, and 8th house all activated. They're all money houses, right? So you're going through some kind of crucible around your finances, perhaps just February 26th to the 28th. I think, when Mars and Venus and Pluto and Sun and Mercury are all piling up in your 5th house, you just want to have fun. Girls that just want to have fun. You want to have fun, play, fun, pleasure, leisure. You're doing things. And then there's almost like someone wants to put the brakes on in the finance part of your life. Maybe you're spending too much, basically. So that's going to be a wake-up call February 26th to the 28th. And then finally, on February the 28th, Mercury goes into the heart of the Sun, conjuncts the Sun. Well, Saturn is there as well, all at 9 degrees of Pisces, a triple conjunction. This is happening at 9 Pisces, and this is your debt, work, health, pets, and rental situations, 6th house. And it's a reset button. All of the Mercury Cazimis reset your life, and you'll see the evidence of that in the 6 weeks that follow. Because this reset button is in all of these areas, it could be a reset for your health, a reset for your wealth, your work situations, your pet situations, a reset for your job and co-worker situations. And Saturn can be the boss, or you working really hard and resetting your pace. And yet it sextiles Jupiter. So the reset button brings you greater financial gain in your longer term money stories, like your investments and your 401k and your savings. And so there's a nice financial bonus from some deeper reset in a work and health house. And even because it has pets there, some of you might want to get a new pet. Saturn would be an older pet, like a rescue animal. And for some reason, it can benefit your well-being psychologically, 8th house, as well as financially. Sometimes just because you have a pet beside you, you're happier, and you're happier in your work and you're making more money. I'm not sure. Maybe you have a pet with a nose for investments and he wags his tail when it's a good time to buy that stock, and his tail goes under his bum when it's not a good stock. The stock picker dog is coming your way. Something cool is trying to happen, though. If you're going to get a new pet and it's coming off of a Mercury Cazimi at 9 degrees of Pisces on February 28th, give or take a day on each side, then this is going to be a very beautiful and special animal sextiling Jupiter, likely a reincarnation of a former animal coming back in a new body, honestly. Alrighty, so thanks for listening. Hope that was useful for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed that content. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out all the things in my description box, including my Patreon community, who gets this early access ad-free content and up to 3 Zoom meetings with me a month for a mere $5 a month. And you would have gotten this content on January 24th ahead of everybody else without the ads. So try me out on Patreon. Plus, I'm giving away 3 free courses if you sign up before the end of January. Bye-bye. Well, have a great time, Libra.